how to find a man that you want.
You're listening to this Everyday Life Unscripted, a Success Smart VIP program.
Talk about the different types of men and how you know what type of man you want, and do you know what you're getting? For instance, there are some men out there, they're grown men, but they have the mentality of a toddler, of a kid. It's all about them, what they want. They want to feel good. They want to be happy. What are you going to do to make me happy? What are you going to do to make me feel good? That's all they think about, is that me mentality. And then there's some guys out there, and this goes for women too, but the topic is how to find a man, but not just any man, but the man that you want. And there are also men out there who act like they're still in elementary school, or like they're still in high school, where mom takes care of everything. She does all the laundry, she does all the food, she does all the cooking, all the cleaning, she does everything. And as an adult, he expects the woman in his life to do the same thing. He expects her to cook for him, clean for him. He expects her to do everything. And then there are also the men who feel like, if you get me this, if you do this for me, then I'll love you and we can have a wonderful relationship if you buy me this. They love gifts. They like for you to buy them things. When you meet someone, you don't know who that person really is or the type of personality they have. Is it important to understand a person's personality, the type of person that they are, before you get involved?
A person has to know who they are first. Because you gave the example of the woman who's doing all these cosmetic surgeries.
Yeah.
So she's looking for a certain type of man that likes that. The person has to be comfortable with themselves. This is who I am. I'm not saying that a person don't improve on who they are, but a person has to be comfortable with themselves and not create some other type of personality or person to fit somebody else's criteria. So the deeper issue could be a person's self-esteem. How is their self-esteem? Do they value themselves? And if they value themselves, that will individuals, quality individuals, who are not surface individuals only. So a lot of it has to deal with the person themselves.
Okay.
I would also like to make a comment.
Okay, go right ahead.
Yes, I agree with what the gentleman said. A person has to know themselves, who they are, and they need to understand what their personalities and which personalities match. And a lot of people, the majority of young people that I know, they go into relationships not even knowing who they are and not understanding how to kind of match their personalities. For instance, the choleric. Choleric has a very strong personality, and her personality would not blend with just any other personality. She may need to get with someone who's melancholy or phlegmatic, something like that. They just don't understand. They just see something, their eyes see this person, the physical features, and fall for it, not really understanding who they are and who that person is. They're not compatible at all. So you have to take a lot of that into consideration. And it's unfortunate that young girls or young men are not taught that as they grow up, understanding and respecting each other and performing their roles as the roles should be performed. And these young ladies, I hold them accountable for the way they allow men to behave. there was an old saying, they hold the key. They hold the key that unlocks the door.
I hear exactly what you're saying, but I really don't think women think they hold the key to unlock anything. I really, really don't, because it appears that most of them are willing to do whatever is necessary to keep a man in their lives. And the gentleman mentioned getting to know yourself. You mentioned knowing your personality. I just don't think that's what people are looking for when they first meet. Usually what they look at is the looks. They're attracted. A man is attracted to a woman because he likes what he sees, whether that's her face or her breast or her hips. My best friend told me not to say rump, so I won't say rump.
So, I want to jump in just for one moment, though.
Okay.
Out of the 69 million, the gentleman hit the nail on the head when he talked about quality. My question is, 69 million men does not mean that there are 69 million quality men.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
We're talking about 69 million masculine or males, but not necessarily will they be quality or even the right man for, the right woman there. They're not all
Yeah, that's
straight.
a good point. That's a good point. And you know what? It's so interesting you say that. And I'm going to say this and then I'm going to flip back to what we're talking about. But that's the same thing men are saying. They're saying that, there are all these women out here, but they're not quality women. I think what was so exciting and what could be liberating for women is realizing that it's no longer the guys that have the pick of the glitter or the pick of the crop, whatever that saying is. Women now have that they're going to be more men than women. And you know what? I guess if I think about that, that makes me wonder, where are all the women going? What's happening to all the women? But that's a topic for another day.
I have a friend who got remarried. His first marriage didn't last. He got remarried. And all the men in his wedding were never married and didn't have any children. Now, he met a young lady a few years prior to that because he had a son with his first wife. And she told him, no, I don't date men with children. And this is going someplace else too. So lo and behold, a few years later, she gets married. She marries a man that has twin daughters, about 4 years old.
Wow.
Now, he told him that she won't marry a man or see a man that has kids. And she marries a man that has twin daughters. Now, I met someone years ago while working, and she was a little older than me, about 10 years. And she said, no, 11 years. She said, no, that would never work. Mm-hmm. No, you're too young. And we just became friends. So one day we were talking, and she told me she met a guy. And I said, well, tell me about him. He says, well, he kind of lives in his mother's basement.
Oh.
He's a year younger than you are. And I said, wait a minute. And when she said that, I said, wait, that's the reason why you said that you and I couldn't see each other. Now you're telling me and she married the man.
Oh.
She was a vice principal of a high school. And she married the man 12 years younger than her and took him out of his mother's basement. But yeah, me on my own, even older than him by a year. No, this was no. So a lot of times these women are getting a lot of mixed sick. I can go on and on. Another friend, she came to Michigan. She stayed with my friend. And the next month, my friend said, guess what? She got married. 1 month later, now he's seeing her. She comes all the way to visit him to the Midwest. And 1 month later, she's married. And I could go on and on and on. One of the churches here, it's a very small church, less than 30 people. At the time, they had about 8 or 9 men. 7 of them never married, no children. So when women say, where are the men? I'm saying there are too many men. Everywhere you look, there's a man. I said, good gracious. And they all got somebody. So when the women say that, I don't know. I don't know what area they're in or what they're doing or what's going on. But then again, we have to deal with those mixed messages too. We need to deal with those mixed messages, the approaches. What are they saying when they're approached? What are the excuses or whatever? We need to deal with that as well.
I think you're right about that. Her taking him out of the basement, that's a whole topic in and of itself. I worked with an attorney that dealt with domestic issues, the law practice that we were with. And oh my goodness, it was just so heartbreaking. The women that would come in and the issues that they had dealt with and the things that they were facing. One situation, it was just heartbreaking. This young lady, she was married to this guy. They had children. She had known him since she was very, very young. She came home one day and he was with another gentleman. And she didn't know that he was bisexual or whatever his sexual orientation was. I don't think she necessarily had a problem with his sexual orientation. It's just that she didn't know. But not only was he with someone else in their home when she walked in, but it was another male. She was devastated. Devastated for the fact that he was unfaithful. She was devastated for the fact that she didn't understand, was she not good enough? What was it about her that he didn't find attractive anymore? Someone asked me, do you think people not see red flags when they're getting involved with someone? It would be good if women knew who they were before they started giving their heart, before they started giving their soul and their bodies. Get to know a person first.
You're listening to This Everyday Life Unscripted, a Success Smart VIP program.